and I was dying really quickly, promptly dying.
Hey Joe. £3?
Yeah.
Very good, Molly. What do you think? Look, I still got mud.
I thought we were supposed to have it high so we look better.
Yeah, but it's not gonna help us right now, is it?
You've got mud in your ears. I don't feel like I can
I got
talk
mud
to you.
in my hair.
So we've just completed Tough Mudder. It's like 13 miles full of obstacles over muddy terrain. And when we say mud, we mean manure and mud, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first bit when it hits you is like you're running down, it's not a problem, and then there's just a river in the way that comes up to you above your waist. Yeah, towards
And
your
at that
chest.
point, going in a river, you're like, oh.
Yeah, this don't feel right. Like, why you want to do that? Yeah, you're still civilized at this point in time. And then we came up to some mud hills. So it's like the really big mud hills, and you slide down into mud above your waist. Because of my fear of claustrophobia, I never ever get stuck because my adrenaline kicks right in. Every time it just grabs hold of your feet and you start sucking you in, I just go like the clappers. But Shannon had a problem because she got stuck. We're talking away on the camera. It's great footage, isn't it?
Oh, it
It's
is.
great footage. And then we got to something called the Arctic Enema, which is my enemy. And because this is just a massive tank and it is full of ice. It's an ice bath, the whole thing. And you jump in it and it
The
comes...
Ice Bucket Challenge did not prepare us for this.
It did not. The Ice Bucket Challenge is nothing. So it comes up to above your chest. Don't let the water,
But
you
then you
jump
have
in.
to go under.
And then you get to some tyres in the middle and you got to swim under. And we got a problem. Because as I swam under, the tyres came down, whacked me on the head, knocked my GoPro camera off my head, and it sank somewhere. And I got out the other side. Then my brain weren't working too well, but I just knew how to get Shannon out. And I looked and grabbed all of your arm as you come through, and you get out. And I jumped onto the side of the tank and realised my GoPro camera weren't on me at all. And then, so it's like, decisions, what do you do now? So I decided to jump back in the tank and trying to
My
go...
brain was just starting to come back.
You decided to get out, yeah? So I decided to jump back in the tank and try and search in 5.5 foot water, a massive tank, trying to search for a GoPro camera. So my pulse started racing. And I'm getting freezing cold, my pulse started racing, and then we realised there was a problem. My pulse started going much slower, and I started moving slower, and I was dying really quickly, promptly dying. So I climbed out of the tank, upset that we lost
He was very upset.
my beautiful GoPro
GoPro.
camera 3. All that footage there sits at the bottom of a tank.
Not even that much of it.
Yeah. Now, we talked to the organisers, and turns out I was one of about 20 people that this happened to over the day. Hopefully they all happened in the other tank, not in my tank. And basically...
We were saying it would have been funny if you'd looked for it and found someone else.
yeah. But first 45 minutes of somebody else and the next 3 hours. So, anyway, we talked to the organisers afterwards, about 20 people this happened to. They're going to drain the tank. This happens every time. They're going to drain the tank tomorrow. And they're going to send us his camera back. Then we come to 2 12-foot walls.
There's nothing to hold on to apart from just the top, and your hands are so slippery because of the mud
Yeah.
that it is actually. I didn't think it'd scare me, but it.
So I
actually
quickly
really did.
got to the other side and realised obviously you've got a catcher coming down the other side. So I just shouted at a guy, "Oi, get over here!" And
The guys there are great, aren't
they just help. Everybody helps everybody. Then we hit something called Mud Mile, where it's just really big,
But it
thick
lies.
mud.
It's not a mile.
We started off at 7 miles, got to 8 miles, and we're like, great. And then you turn around the corner, and then it went on again for another mile. So I put my arm down to help this woman up, and started doing it. I started slipping down the hill into the mud again, so I'm going to be back in the mud. And then Shannon just grabbed my arm from behind and pulled us both out, E-Man style. Cheer up. So obviously there's this one called Everest, And what it is, it's a big ramp and a really big, then steep hill. So it's like one of those slides that you slide down and then it flattens out the bottom. But this way you got to run up it as far hard as you can. And there's like a ledge, and you got to try and grab hold of that ledge, and then big fellas try and drag you over. So I said to Shan, I said, listen, we got to try and make a time. You know, we've got to do it. We've got to do the obstacle. So just have one go at it, and then basically I was saying, have one go at it. When you fall down, right, then you'll have to come round because obviously you can't do it. And so I got up on the ledge and I got with the other guy. I told the other guy to leave, didn't I? Moved him on, and so I was the big guy at the top then. And I like went down to my waist, all the way down to my waist, so I could lean right down to her, but there's no way. So anyway, she comes charging like a woman possessed, evil eyes and everything. I nearly moved. I was that scared. Thought you were gonna come through me. She went charging up this hill, and then all of a sudden I looked down, and she's only got hold of my hand somehow. She's actually made it, and she's actually clinging onto my hand. So I started pulling her. I knew she was coming up at that point because she's only light as a feather. And then another guy grabbed all your other arm. We just dragged her up to the top, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" So at the bottom, waiting to go up there, there's lots of different stations. So there's approximately 200 to 300 people, and they're all going up there. And as Shannon hit the top and dragged her over the top, the whole 200 or 300 people went up in raptures. Why? Started clouting and shouting, and the whole thing kicked off. Came to this to a massive climb. I mean, a massive climb, weren't it? We climbed up on a rope. Yeah, we climbed up a net, and then a rope. Was there? Oh, just a net
Not
with
on that one.
Yeah, just a net, really big net, and then up a massive ladder through a gate to the top. Now this one we had to just jump straight off last year, but it went down a big slide, and then
But at the bottom of the slide,
so it went down straight like that,
upwards.
and then the slide comes upwards like that, so it sends you shooting like that. And so there's electric wires dangling down with 10,000 volts in them, but surely it's just volts, they're not going to hurt that bad. So we start charging through, and we're doing alright, aren't we, at first?
Yeah, we're avoiding
We're getting
them.
through, and then I think I screamed first, like a girl, and one hit me on the back of my shoulders, and like that really kicked, and then really hurt, really hurt, and then I heard Shannon start screaming,
And then he just went, "Get down!"
3 times, and we've both been hit 3 times, and I shout, "Get down!"
It's like being whipped.
So we can crawl. Yeah,
That's like the sort of pain.
I'd say it's like being kicked by a horse or something. It's like a big sharp bang. We finally got out. Shannon stood up. We grabbed hold of each other's arms, and then we run through the finish line, and we'd finished.